Hello, welcome to Family Therapy Podcast. My name is George Chacha. In this episode, I'll be talking about resolving conflict in marriage. Resolving conflict in marriage. Don't beat your spouse and against the law. Don't call your spouse names. It is equally and unacceptable. You've come to that point whereby this level of conflict in your marriage is on the increase. Conflict, it's either emotional, it's either physical. It is growing louder and louder by the day. There are few steps or measures that can be employed to really realizing amicable resolution of this conflict. One, if once upon a time you were in love, go back to the river, dip your hands into the river and get out or fish out the key. Find the password to your marriage and come back with it. Let the two of you sit down to have a dialogue. And even as you sit down, realize that it's during that time that you could make it or break it. With utmost respect, humility, and love. List the concerns without shouting, without bitterness, without crucifying each other. And once you have talked and explained the issues of concern, let your partner also explain his or her side of the story. To every coin, there are two sides. And even as you explain and get to hear each other, observe utmost respect and sensitivity to each other's concern. Another step, and this will be very important even in this process, will be to actually involve your children. Children who are older than 14 years, depending on maybe how the children have grown up, could be very important resource of peace. The children could be the best mediators, the best negotiators, and the best observers and listeners. The children, by and large, are not partisan, and they will speak, and especially children who are possibly older than 18, 20, they will be very objective. Don't run to the parents or to the in-laws for help. They will only come to condition your marriage, to condition your conflict. It's during this time that you really need a lot of soberness, a lot of objectivity, and this one again, you may not really get it from the relatives, whereby depending on the age of your parents, for example, they will always use some kind of a standard gauge where they talk of like, in marriage, it's a matter of perseverance, persevere. But I do believe that in this era and age, perseverance is not an appropriate word in marriage. Perseverance is an appropriate word in prison, in a detention camp, in an IDP camp, for example. Love, respect, recognition. We talk of all the sweet words, not perseverance. We are not supposed to persevere in marriage. And therefore, that's the reason why I really strongly encourage that the children, once they have reached 14, 15 and above, they will be very handy. They could come in very handy to helping us navigate around our marriage. Because then again, they also have a perspective. They had a say. They have a say. And therefore, it's appropriate to involve them. It's during this time that we get to recommit ourselves, especially after we have listened to what our children have advised, after we have listened to each other, and we have seen and acknowledged our mistakes. Then that's a good opportunity for us to kind of recommit ourselves, rededicate our marriage, make promises, and not just empty promises, but of course, pledge to uphold what has kind of emerged. Married partners need not go violent. Married partners need not go physical. We must not allow ourselves to resign to the level of even thinking of killing each other, eliminating each other. We must always bear in mind that any slightest conflict in our marriage has dire consequences on the mental status of our children. We should always seek to raise proud and very really outstanding children who have confidence, confident children. We must seek to raise confident children. And this one is only possible when we resolve conflict amicably, involve them in our decision making, then we make them feel important. We make them actually start learning how to handle families' issues. We are teaching them a very important art of life, resolving conflict, being responsible, knowing that conflict can be peacefully and amicably resolved. Otherwise, if you have liked this channel and you really concur with what I've said, click the subscribe button, click the like button, click the bell. Get any update that comes, get every update that comes online. Let us have a live debate around this. What is your perspective? What should we do to handle conflict? Don't beat your spouse. Don't abuse your spouse. It's not acceptable. We can do better. And we can live a better life. We can go back to the point in time where we started. Thank you, and God bless you.